Okay, we're going to start today just knees raised, spine long, and you might like to just place hands on the body, one at the heart center, one on the belly. Give yourself enough time to just drop an anchor into this practice and sigh out, let everything sink down. We're going to take a bit of time today to locate whole length of our spine. So you might start just by finding the very base of the tailbone and just rotate your pelvic bone forward and back. So you might even lift it a little off the ground. Rotating it forward, the spine will come up. And then as you rotate it back, tailbone will be heavy and the spine will come down to the ground. And just move between both ways until you find that kind of neutral place where your spine wants to sit. We might also tuck in our chin a little. Back of the neck is, or back of the skull is heavy. So find a bit of double chin if you can. No one is looking. And just allow that whole length of the spine from the very end of the tailbone all the way up to the back of the head to be as heavy as you can. Take your next breath and just notice if it feels more present in the chest or if it's more present in the belly, under the higher hand or the lower hand, and then sigh out. And take a few moments just to find the rhythm of that breath. I invite you to always breathe in through your nose. Nose is for breathing, mouth is for eating. And occasionally we can breathe through our mouth, but it tends to be when we do the short and shallow breaths. We're gasping for air. So when we breathe through our mouth, it's quite common that the breath doesn't go deep into our belly, doesn't connect with the organs that need all the new oxygen, the new energy. Breathing through the nose means our breath gets a little warmed up as it travels down through the body into the lungs. Our nose hairs filter out a few impurities. They warm the oxygen up. So let's see if we can just notice how we're breathing today. Our breath might be deep or shallow. It might be fast or it might be slower. And it might be even or it might be a little irregular. Just notice whatever you can about the breath. Let's bring both our hands to the belly now. And see if you can bring all your attention to that belly. As you breathe in, abdomen expands. You'll feel your hands rise up. And as you sigh out, feel the hands drop back towards the spine. Now we'll take our hands up to the ribs, just either side of the rib cage. Place the heel of the palm down. And you might bring your middle fingers to touch in the center of the rib cage. As you take your next breath, see if you can expand the ribs wide. And then sigh out, you might find those middle fingers come back to touch. Inhale, open wide, side of the body. Exhale, ribs come back in. And take a moment to just see how far you can expand into the side. You might remember we only use about 10 to 15% of our lung capacity in our everyday breaths. So they're tight, they're small, they're bunched up. See if you can actively open them out. Allow them a little more room to expand. Feeling that ribcage open wide. Now we're going to cross our wrists over, bring our fingers under the shoulders. As you take your next breath, see if you can feel the belly expand, the ribs go wide, and also this feeling of breath moving into the back of the body, maybe the back of the neck, in between the shoulders, under the fingers. Just feel this whole expansion through belly, through ribs, through chest and back. You might try and follow the breath all the way to the end. Just give it all the time it needs and then sigh out. Empty out the lungs. And as you take this breath, notice if you're hunching the shoulders up towards the ears. You want your shoulders to be heavy. Roll them back onto the ground. Maybe the chest doesn't rise so much. Feel the back, the shoulders spreading. And you might just feel like you've activated a bit of extra lung capacity. Let's see what we can do with that extra capacity. We're going to bring our fingers back right to the base of the abdomen. Come back to the belly breath. This time we're going to see if we can engage our core muscles. So my favorite way of doing this is just to purse the lips into a small little circle and blow. Just like you're blowing candles on a cake or fogging a window, if you like. Once you feel those muscles switch on, just come back to the breath. I worked with someone yesterday and we did this very same exercise and they tried to convince me that it was impossible to switch on those muscles and also breathe at the same time. It's interesting the stories that our mind tell us. Just like anything else, this is a skill. So see if you can keep breathing in and out while you keep those muscles engaged. And just notice as you do this, whether you can just isolate that engagement in your core, in your abdomen. You're not also inviting tension into your jaw, into your neck, into your shoulders. Shoulders stay heavy. Neck stays flat as you can. Chin is still tucked and jaw is loose. Should feel like you can take a smile and keep those core muscles in the belly engaged. Just see how you go. And we're going to see if we can keep these muscles engaged pretty much most of the next half hour. And again, your monkey mind might tell you that's not going to work. But if we isolate these muscles and we don't draw tension into our back, into our spine, into our neck, into our cheek, you find it's very simple to keep these muscles engaged. It's only when we start to tense everything in our body that our body craves that repair mode, that growth mode of rest and digest, where we sigh out and we let everything go. Let's see if we can just keep these muscles engaged. Just keep being aware of them. Now, as you take your fingers away from the chest, you might feel like straight away you lose that engagement. Keep breathing, but lift the fingers up. Now we're going to start by just doing a static posture. This is probably the least exercise you'll ever get in a Pilates class anywhere. Lifting the knees up, just bring them up to tabletop. Draw the knees and feet close to each other. Keep the core muscles engaged. Just see how you go. You might notice some tension coming into shoulders or chin. Try and let that go. Keep the sensation in the belly, in the inner thighs. We're going to now take our arms up and have your palms facing towards the ceiling. Drop the shoulders back as low as you can. And we're currently in a static posture called the sleeping tiger. Now, flex those wrists back. You want to feel a strong sensation down the inside of the arms. And see if you can bring your focus back to the tailbone. Drop the shoulders a little heavier. Draw the legs in. Don't necessarily have to have your feet and knees touching, but just feel like they're drawing in towards each other. Most important, keep breathing. Now, if you have any element of mind telling you must move, something is not right, just take another breath. It's one of those shapes where we use it to teach ourselves the difference between discomfort and pain. Pain is short and sharp. Discomfort tends to be slow and dull. And we need pain to tell us to change so we don't injure ourselves. But discomfort, we can hold it a little longer. Just allow our body to imprint the feeling. And each time we come into the shape, we might find it a little easier. Stress on our body a little less. We won't be here the whole half hour. We'll just stay a minute or so more. And if you need to at any point, just come out of it. You might like to roll the wrists, roll the ankle joints if you're feeling stiff in those ankles. Let's see if you can keep that focus on the belly. Keep breathing. Let's take 3 more breaths together. One more time. And when you're ready, wrap the arms around the legs. You might just like to rock from side to side. Sigh it out. And we're going to take our feet down to the mat. And straight away, just bring our attention back to those abdominal muscles. Let's take our arms down by the side of the body, reaching our fingers towards our heels. We're just going to slowly lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Take a breath in as we take the head back down. And then sigh out, lift the head back up, reaching forward. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. Keep moving through this rhythm. reaching the fingers as far forward as you can, but you don't want to be jerking the neck or lurching the head forward. Keep the shoulder as heavy as you can. Shoulders stay heavy. Arms stay kind of stiff. And just see if you can find a rhythm with your breath. Sighing out as you lift up. Inhaling as you lower down. One more time. And we'll come down, we'll bring our knees back into the chest, rock from side to side. All right, this time, bring the arms back down. We're going to lift our knees up. Take a moment to switch on those muscles, blow those candles out again if you need to. Draw the knees in towards each other, draw the feet together. We're going to take a breath in. As we sigh out, fingers reach forward again. Head lifts up. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. The tailbone should feel heavy here. Feeling the spine heavy to the mat. Take a break whenever you need to. So what we're doing here is activating those muscles that connect our rib cage and our lower body. Because we sit so often in life, quite often these muscles become weak. And when we move from sitting to standing or vice versa, we just put pressure on our body all the time. Pressure on our spine. So as we strengthen these muscles, you might find a lot more ease of movement through the day. Not about getting a six-pack or whatever thing people might usually advertise on gyms or the internet. It's just about bringing ease into our movement. One more time. Let it go. And again, we'll bring the knees in, wrap the arms around. Take a moment here, take a breath. And we're going to keep our knees up. Take the arms down by the side of the body. This time we're going to just tap the toes down. Take a breath in. Sigh out. Tap the right foot down. Inhale to bring the legs back together. Exhale, left foot taps down. Inhale back. Exhale down. Notice as you do this, whether you're twisting in the spine at all. We want to keep that tailbone heavy, shoulders heavy. You might like to walk the fingers away from the head a little further. Just making sure there's no tension in our neck, no tension in our jaw. Two more times each side. And we'll take both legs down. Let's just extend our legs long. You might like to just wobble a little from side to side. Just let the whole body be heavy. Pressing down through the tailbone. Lift the knees up again. One more to do here. We're going to take our feet down, knees still up. Take our arms behind the head. And you might like to interlace the fingers under the head. Keep the head as heavy as you can. Big breath in to prepare. As we exhale, curl the head up. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. You'll be using your core muscles here, but if you feel like you've lost them, come back to blow. And if blowing doesn't work for you, you take a small cough. It's the same muscle that you feel deep in the belly. Inhaling down, let's take our knees up. And same thing, just sighing out as we lift up. Inhale down. Exhale, lifting up. When I was a kid, my dad used to do push-ups. And it's working the same muscle groups, but putting a lot more pressure on your spine. You might notice as you do these simple forms, same kind of engagement as a sit-up. Maybe I said push-ups before, sit-ups I meant. And just notice that spine is heavy through this whole movement. We're not trying to put pressure on our spine. Just building the muscle that support the spine's movement. Sigh it out. And last one, we're going to reach our right leg out as we look towards our left elbow. Inhale back to the center. Left leg out, we look to the right elbow. We'll just do a few of these. Bringing in our obliques, our intercostal muscles. Have a break whenever you need to. Sighing it out. One more each side. Letting it go. And last time, wrap the arms around. Rock from side to side. Let's extend our legs long. Take the arms overhead. We're going to take a breath in as we reach the arms out and then slowly curl the body up. You might need to pull up through the legs, but just take as much time as you can. Inhale when you come up straight and exhale, leaning forward. Inhale to roll back up, crown of the head reaches up, and then we're going to curl the spine into a C curve, come down very slowly, all the way down, arms come overhead, and we'll inhale, lifting up again. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. So you can find those sit bones and just curl the spine down. Take the arms overhead. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, dropping the head. Just gravity, letting it be heavy. Inhale, reaching up. And sighing out. All right, let's just come back where we started today. Knees can be raised up, heels can be close to the sit bones, palms pressing down. Take a breath in. As we sigh out, tailbone can rise up. Press through the feet, press through the shoulders, and then we'll inhale to roll the spine back down. Exhale, lifting tailbone high. And we inhale down. Keep that chin tucked in if you can. And let's add some arms in. And your next breath in, lift the arms overhead. And then we'll sigh out as the spine comes down. Inhale, bring the arms back by the side of the body. And then exhale, roll the spine up. Inhale, arms come up high. Exhale, rolling back down. Find your own rhythm here. One more with the arms. Exhale, roll the spine down. Inhale, arms come back by the side. And we exhale to roll the spine up. Now we're going to activate our legs. Let's lift our right leg up, breathing in. Sigh out as the spine comes down. Inhale, right leg comes down. And then we roll the spine up as we sigh out. Left leg, press it up high. Exhale, roll the spine down. Inhale, foot comes down. And we exhale to roll the spine up. One more time each side. And let it go. Let's take our arms wide either side of the body. And we'll lift up our knees. Just draw the knees in towards the chest. You might like to lift the tailbone up a little bit. Take a big breath in. As we sigh out, knees can come down to one side. Inhale, roll back onto the spine. Exhale, take the knees the other side. Keeping both shoulders as heavy as you can. If you want to go a little deeper, you might turn and look towards the opposite hand. One more time. Let it go. Let's roll over onto our side, and we're going to bring the knees up towards the chest and just stack our hands one over the other. Take a big breath together. As we sigh out, roll that hand across the chest. Let it go. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. And you might just like to roll back onto the back or just come straight over to the other side. Extend the arms in front of the body. Bring the knees up high again. Inhale together. Exhale, take the fingers across, opening through the chest. At the end of the next cycle, just slowly come back onto the spine. We're going to bring the knees right up to the chest and maybe take a few rock and rolls to come up to a seated position. If you like, you can just press up to a seated position. But if you'd like to join me, tuck your chin in. Slowly get a little bit of momentum to just roll along the spine. Don't roll too far back on the shoulders. Just be wary of any pressure on your neck. As you come down, just sigh out, let it go. And then we'll slowly come up and meet in a seated position. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Take a moment to just scan through the body and notice how you feel. So we did a lot of work on these core abdominal muscles today. You might like to scan along the spine. Just notice if you feel any changes. Each vertebrae of our spine has this kind of jam kind of fluid that moves around, and sometimes this can get stuck and we can feel tension in different parts. But always good to invite energy to move back through this part of the body. Let's bring our hands together, just create a little bit of heat. You might like to bring the hands up to the face, just sealing in learnings of practice, learnings of breath today. And let's bow to each other.